everybody. It is Friday, which at Hitchings Insurance, that means it's time for Farm Fact Friday. And today I am sitting in a sprayer because we're going to talk about spraying beans, which is actually something that was happening at R.C. Coleman Farms today. And it happens to be my husband and his brother's operation along with their parents. So it's a pleasure to share, of course, spraying beans from their perspective. So as we work through the Farm Fact Friday today, realize that this is just how one farm operation does it. It certainly can vary from one operation to another's, but the general information should hopefully shed some light on spraying and when you see sprayers out and about in the countryside. So first of all, the purpose of spraying is just to get rid of unwanted plants within the fields. So those unwanted weeds certainly pull away nutrients, they pull away any of the moisture that's there, and that really doesn't help the crops that we want to of course grow beans for us so that we have a nice harvest come fall time. So what was happening today is spraying herbicide, which will kill everything but, hopefully everything but those bean plants. And what helps that particular process is the beans are already equipped to not be affected by that herbicide. So they have a herbicide ready type of formula that doesn't kill those beans, but rather kills the weeds that are around it. So first, let's just talk about the sprayer itself. So the sprayer I'm sitting in, of course, kind of has a cab like a tractor. The boom on this particular sprayer is 80 feet long. So the planter that planted the beans is 40 foot long. So you're covering more acres with a sprayer in a quicker amount of time. Additionally, these wheels on the sprayer are narrow and they're also pretty tall. So that helps to keep the sprayer in between the rows so that we're not damaging the crop itself. It also has an 800-gallon tank on it, so we're covering a lot of the field. We need to make sure that we have the spray in combination with water to make sure that all the acres are covered. So that brings us into the next thing of the concentration of the actual spray. So in this sprayer, if you can see, the liquid in it, some people that aren't in farming may drive, or maybe they're in farming, but they may drive by and think, oh my gosh, that's a lot of chemicals to be putting on the field. Well, the fact is that we take a concentrated solution and add it with lots of water, and we have then a concentration that's not so strong. So I'm going to use demonstration purposes to show this. So on the family farm, we use 40 gallons of the herbicide and a conditioner in 760 gallon of water. So it's a 5% solution. So 30 gallons of that is the actual herbicide and 10 gallons of that is the water conditioner and what's called drift control. So in this, we'll pretend is the concentrated piece, so your herbicide and the drift control, and this is all the extra water. So you see how dark red that is when we add it to the water. Makes it much lighter. So in that tank, like I mentioned, 760 gallons of that is just water, and the other 30 of it is the herbicide and 10 is the drift control, which goes into the next piece, which is safety. So that drift control helps to make sure that the spray is not just going up into the air, it is staying on the crop and down low to the ground, so it's getting where it needs to be. The other thing safety-wise is that any farmers that are going to spray their own fields, they have to go through classes and be certified to do this. So they have to understand the spray, they have to understand the concentrations, they have to do it in a safe manner. So farmers can either do this individually, or they can rely on something like a co-op to do the spraying for them. So either one of those is an option, but you have to be knowledgeable about what you're doing. The other thing is documentation is important. You have to document, date and time, what field you're on, and wind information is also important. So miles per hour, and the direction, and then also the temperature. So all of these things are kept, in the books to make sure that if there are any questions that arise, you have documentation to show that things were done properly. So that's kind of a background about spraying on the farm. So what I'm going to do now is let's flip this camera around. I want to show you the actual sprayer itself. So as I get down here, we'll just show you some of the sprayer. So what you're looking at now is the boom. We'll just kind of do a walkthrough. So these have sprayer heads on them, and then the actual boom itself gets moved up and down to keep it close, to the crop, so it's not having to travel so far to get there. And then you can see the silver in the back. Of course, that's where the tank is, where it holds the water and those chemicals that we talked about, as well as that drift control. And then you can see those tall skinny tires that we talked about as well. So just another piece of farming and making sure that our crops are taken care of so that they provide a bountiful harvest if everything else aligns. And right now we could definitely use some rain. So hope you have enjoyed another Farm Fact Friday. We have been doing these now for, I think, upwards of 2.5 months. So if you like them, we would love to have you like our Facebook page so that you get the notifications. If you follow us on Instagram, we do it there too. And we also have a YouTube channel. So we enjoy bringing these to you, and certainly don't want you to miss them if you enjoy them too. So with that, have a great rest of your Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.